we had and showed at times is awesome. We have some of the best players in the world on one team, and just have a couple of things that we need to figure out. But I guess I can't really give you the answer to that question because it's literally my first day.
Yes, indeed. Team USA losing its opener to France. Is it time for panic or patience? DeMar DeRozan says, quote, it's all about winning when it comes to his free agency decision, so where would be a good fit? And Bradley Beal reportedly mulling his future. When does he need to tell the Wizards what he's thinking? We'll have the best big air dunks for you on the show today, so get up out of your seat because the jump starts now. Woo.
Welcome to The Jump, presented by Credit Karma.
Welcome into our NBA reporter in Dallas, Tim Van McMahon, and our senior writer for The Undefeated, Mark Spears. Tim, I think Mark has a better title than you, but we'll figure that out for the rest of the show.
I've got a better nickname.
We'll have all kinds of guests joining us throughout the show as well. But first, scientific studies have shown a weird thing about the human brain. Once we have formed an initial belief about something, it's very difficult to change our minds, even if we're presented with hard facts to the contrary. This explains, I guess, why there was such shock and dismay at the Olympics when the American men's basketball team lost its opening game to France. So many fans have been trained to believe that Team USA is largely invincible when it comes to Olympic basketball. They haven't quite processed all the hard facts that led up to yesterday's loss, even if the warning signs have been there in plain sight. I mean, for the past 3 years, neither the NBA's MVP award nor the Defensive Player of the Year award has gone to an American. That should have been a pretty good indication on where things stand in terms of the global spread of the game. The skill gap between U.S. players and players born elsewhere just simply nowhere near as large as it used to be, a reality that comes with some irony. The whole reason USA Basketball created the Dream Team back in '92 was because the rest of the world was starting to catch up with the American college players we used to send to the Olympics. Except then the pros on that Dream Team became such a sensation they jump-started basketball's popularity globally, which led to more athletes in other countries picking up the sport and becoming players who are now catching up to the American players we send to the Olympics. Sort of a Terminator robot arm paradox thing there, but I digress because it's not just that other countries have been catching up. There's another hard fact here, that our country was not able to enter this year's Olympic tournament with any kind of consistency. Here are some of the things that happened during Team USA's 2-week training camp that was supposed to prepare them for Tokyo. One player got hurt, one contracted COVID, 2 more went into contact tracing, 3 more weren't there at all because they were still competing in the NBA Finals. One of the team's practices had only 6 healthy players. One of the team's exhibition games was canceled entirely. So yeah, not a total shock that when the group finally did get to Tokyo, they did not look cohesive facing a French team that featured Rudy Gobert, Nicolas Batum, and Evan Fournier, whose last name I will remind you yet again to never Google. Seriously. Anyway, Team USA still managed to be up 7 with less than 4 minutes to go in this game. Particularly impressive was Drew Holiday, who had been drinking champagne on the streets of Milwaukee less than 4 days earlier. He went 18-7-4 off the bench. But Kevin Durant spent much of the game battling foul trouble, and a number of other guys simply looked out of sorts on both ends of the court. In fact, after a halftime demonstration in which a robot showed off its range, there were snarky internet calls to see if the robot could suit up for the Americans, especially once this sequence happened at the end of the game. Take a look. Team USA down 2 and yet gets off 5. Yep, count them. 5 shots at the hoop, including these wide-open threes from Zach LaVine, KD, and Holiday. None of them fell. Meanwhile, Fournier, never Google, was drilling this 3 to help lead France onto a 16-2 run to close out the game. It was the Americans' first loss in Olympic competition in 17 years. And it will likely be its last loss for at least a little bit. Team USA's other 2 opponents in this opening round-robin stage are Iran and the Czech Republic. Still, the hard facts tell us that even if and when Team USA does get to the medal stage,